Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my Satisfactory tutorial Let's Play series. This first episode is just an introduction to the fantastic game that is Satisfactory. Please bear in mind all that you hear me say is just my humble opinion. First up, Satisfactory is in early access as of January 2021, which is now. It is a mix, Satisfactory is a mix between the games Factorio and Imperium Galactic Survival. Now, some of you may question, the reason I list them two games, and I could list other games, but them two games specifically, Factorio for the machines and conveyor belts, Imperium for the graphics and the combat. So yeah, it's like a mixture of them two games and it's all good. The idea is you build lots of factories and conveyor belts to accumulate lots of resources and improve your survival chances. This game is epic in scale. Currently there are 7 tiers of technology. 8 tiers are listed, but there's 7 tiers implemented. It will take you roughly about 300 hours to unlock all the tiers. The developers have said that they are working on more tiers, as you can see by there being a tier 8 listed, so that's work in progress by the developers, and they're working on more content as it's still in early access, which I find remarkable. I've been playing for over 260 hours so far. The quality of Satisfactory is top quality. All the sounds from the factories, the graphics, it's just pure joy to behold and play. The fun factor here is off the scales. The game is done in milestones. Tier 1 is the easiest and quickest tier to complete, which is basically how the game introduces you to Satisfactory. You know, it starts off nice and easy to give you a grasp of what's going on. Each tier has 4 goals. After completing the first 2 tiers, you then have to send a vast amount of resources to Fix It, which is the company which you're working for, to unlock further tiers. The planet you play on is epic in size. Only a few of you watching this video will possibly make it to tier 7. Please prove me wrong. And certainly no one will explore the whole planet. Again, please prove me wrong. Why? Because it is massive, and I do mean massive. And I'm going to give an idea of the scale of this planet as I do this first video, this introductory video. Remember, in episode 2 I'll be starting in a new game, so from scratch. So I won't be playing this world anymore, but I want to show my progress. Satisfactory is developed by Coffee Stain Studios. Satisfactory is on Steam and priced at £27.99 or $38.12 or €31. It was released on the 8th of June 2020, so about 6 months ago. Here is a bit of what it says on the Steam store page. Satisfactory is a first-person open-world factory building game with a dash of exploration and combat. Play alone or with friends. Explore an alien planet, create multi-story factories and enter conveyor belt heaven. And it really is. Okay, so I will show my current progress in this episode, like I say, where I've got to after 260 plus hours, and in the episode, from episode 2, start a new character. A new world. Before going any further, watching this video, be warned, I will be showing you lots of content of where the game currently is at, so some of you may consider this a spoiler. If you do, please stop watching now if that is how you feel, because I will be giving a lot away. Right, with that out of the way, let's now see how far I've managed to get playing Satisfactory. Like I say, for 260 hours plus. And please note, I did mention previously it's about 300 hours to unlock everything. Well, I haven't even started on the nuclear side, so that's another 40 hours at least to get that all up and running, so it'll be about 300 hours, and that's without doing much exploring of the planet, I might hasten to add. This is just focusing on building factories. How many factories? Well, let's take a look. Now, when you think of a factory, you're thinking probably Elon Musk Gigafactory. Well, this is a giga factory, because I'm spanning the whole planet, well, trying to. I'm expanding and expanding my base, and as the more you progress and then unlock tiers, the more machines you get, the more complex the machines get, and the more that you have to add to them machines and get different resources to them machines. So I want to start, I don't want you to be overwhelmed, because this is like, I've been playing for so long, and it just, you know, you have fun, it's just pure joy. I've gone right up, it's so beautiful. Anyway, let's start then with the first fact, how you're going to begin, give you an idea of what's going on there. It's all well and good me showing you a planet full of factory. Well, it's not a planet full, this is only a tiny 1% of the planet. Right, so you can use tubes, much better than the London tube, I might hasten to add. Much quicker. You see my Christmas hat? Right, okay, so what I'll try to do here is just try and break it down for you a bit, this factory malarkey and conveyor belts, to make it digestible for you. So you'll start with, well, let's go over to it first. You'll start with a mine. Well, you start with nothing, and you unlock and progress, and you can build a mine. So you build your mine on top of an ore node. Usually the ore nodes will have a bit of ore on top that you have to break down with a chisel. So once you've broken all of that away, you've then got the room to build a mine on the resource. There's lots of different resources, to name a few. There's copper, iron, coal, quartz, there's lots, and this is still in early access, some more might be added, but at the moment there is just loads. And the ore nodes come in different purities, like this one's impure, and you can get pure nodes. Let's see if I can find a pure node. That's impure. Okay, let's go take a look at another. Because this is the starting area, that's probably why these nodes are going to be, I'm guessing, all impure. Oh no, this one's normal. So you've got impure, normal, and let's see if I got a pure around. Okay, well, there's pure as well. I mean, I'm not going to go running around the map looking for that. What that means is the different purities, the impure will be the slowest. So whatever tier mine you place on top of it, then that tier mine will mine the slowest from impure. Normal, your mine will mine slightly quicker, and pure, your mine will mine the quickest, more amounts of ore. So the more pure the node, the more resources you will get per minute. I think that's the way it does it, per minutes. So the more pure a node is, the more ores your mine will mine per minute. And bear in mind that you've got different tiers of mines, and also you can boost the power of the mine, so you can overclock them. So this is a tier 2 miner. Okay, is it tier 2? Let's just quickly, oh no, sorry, my apologies, this is a Mark 1 miner. So you get Mark 2 and Mark 3 currently, you know, because this is still early access. So your Mark 1 miner will be able to mine ores from an impure and feed about 2 smelters. Don't make the mistake I made on my first playthrough of having just one smelter. A miner can handle, even the very first one will handle at least 2 smelters, because then you can split them up via them gadgets, which we'll get to. So getting back to this miner, what you can do is you can overclock them. So at the moment you can see that this Mark 1 miner will get me 30 parts per minute, and the way you can overclock them is by using these power shards. Now the way you make the power shards is with these power slugs. You don't have access when you start playing to any of this, okay? Please bear this in mind. You don't have access to any of this, as you're going to see in the next episode. You find these power slugs. There's 3. There's green, there's yellow, and there's purple. Purple being the rarest and hardest to find. A green power slug will create 1 power shard. A yellow power slug will create 2 power shards, and a purple power slug will create 5 power shards. So that's why you have the different colours. Green is the most commonly found, and it will create 1. Yellow, more rarer and generally more hostile creatures around. And purple, you're going to be facing gas and creatures and difficult heights. They are extremely rare to find, the purple. Right, let's use some. So notice that my miner is currently mining 30 parts per minute, and it's using 5 megawatts. If I slot in 1 power shard, you'll see that that has now opened this area up. So if I left click on here and drag it to 150%, which is what it's unlocked up to, I'm now mining 45 parts per minute, and it's nearly doubled the power usage to 9.6 megawatts. If I put in another power shard and move the slider again to 200%, I'm now mining double what I was mining without any power shards. So with 2 in there, you'll mine double, 60 parts per minute, but it's going to use 3 times the amount of power, 15.2 megawatts. If I put in another power shard and whack it up to 250%, it's now mining 75 parts per minute, and it's using 21.7 megawatts. So as you can see, this is just a tier 1 miner. If a Mark 1 miner, sorry, so I can further improve the speed output of this by putting a tier 2 miner and then slotting it up with power upgrades. And I can then further upgrade it to a tier 3, a Mark 3 miner, and upgrade it. So, but as you progress through the game, you obviously start with you don't even start with the Mark 1 miner, you start with portable mining devices, but you'll progress on to the Mark 1. So you can see, there you go, there's an idea of, I'm started here because this is where it begins with your resource gathering, to give you an idea. So let's unslot these. You can shift left click, by the way, to put them in and to take them out. Just left shift click. Right, so you've got your output of ores. The next thing you do is you need to move them to a smelter. Now if it's mining just 30 ores per minute, that can cater to 2 smelters. If it was mining 60, then you'd be doubling that. Let's see, if I was to put 1 power shard in, that would cater to 3 smelters. 4 would then cater to 4 or 5. Anyway, if we come over here, so we've got that ore coming from, let's show what I've done, show the conveyor heaven. So here, out of the front of it, you can see I've got a conveyor belt. This is a Mark 5 conveyor belt, which is the highest you can go currently. That's running up here, to some poles to extend it off the ground so I can walk underneath. Coming over here to a splitter. I'm using a it splits 3 ways, so you get 1 input and 3 outputs, and I've got them 3 outputs. I've got the first output of that going into this smelter. Notice its conveyor's full of the ore, so that mine over there, that Mark 1 miner with no power shards, is feeding this smelter. Then I've got the second slot conveyor going to down to here, and this is feeding. I'm actually feeding, sorry, my apologies, that Mark 1 miner, I've actually got it feeding 4 smelters. Yeah, 4 of them, because I thought it was a Mark 2. That's what threw me off. No, a Mark 1 miner can feed 4 smelters. So yeah, 4. I've got 1 over there, and then 3. Oh, let's get off of there. And then 3 smelters here. So a Mark 1 miner can feed 4 smelters, which is really rather cool, without any power shards. If you add power shards, obviously, then this just gets incremental with your smelters. The smelters will obviously turn the ore into ingots. You then need to feed your ingots into further machines to develop the ingots into more usable resources. So with this constructor, that's what the smelters feed. The smelters feed the constructors, and for this one I'm making iron rods, so it's using 1 ingot to make 1 iron rod. For this constructor, oh, that's doing iron rods as well. What's this one doing? Oh, surprisingly enough, iron rods as well. The 4th smelter over here, that smelter is feeding this constructor, which is doing iron plates. Okay, now the reason I'm doing iron plates, generally 1 is enough. No, I'm not going to start saying enough about this or enough about that, because you'll all have your own opinions and you'll all have your own way of wanting to build. There's no right or wrong way. You simply only have fun. That's it. That's all there is to this. Having fun with factories and conveyors. So don't let me start saying, oh, have this many of this. This is just what I'm doing. So anyway, I've got 1 iron plates being made and 3 iron rods. The reason I'm having 3 different types of iron rods is because I'm making an advanced product at the end of the chain, and it's heavily it uses heavily resources made from iron rods. So that's the next stage. After the first constructors made the ingots, I'm then getting iron rods from there. Next, I'm turning the iron rods into screws, and you're going to use tons and tons of screws, so for me it made sense. What I've done here as well, let's show you something that it'll keep doing that, where it sort of looks like it's laggy, but it's not. It's all auto-saving. You have to get used to that because of the scale of what's going on here on this planet. So with this, you'll notice I've got that one maxed out for producing the iron rods. It's got it's doing 250%. Bear in mind, when you start throwing power shards into these constructors, they're going to chew through more ore. But as you can see, my conveyor belts are all full of ores. So even with that machine maxed on what it can do, and this smelter, I haven't got any power shards in that, because it's keeping up. How do you know if it's keeping up? Because obviously you're seeing all the resources for that particular chain on the conveyor. So these are stacked waiting to go into the next constructor. And it's the same goes for all of the conveyors. They're all maxed with resources, so they're keeping up. That's what you got to keep an eye on. Are they managing to keep up? It's all well and good increasing the power of the clock speed, but can the resources keep up? So they're keeping up with that. And the reason I'm having to do that is because of the screws. You use lots of them, so you have to make sure that you're doing enough. So you can see I've increased the power on that. And then from the screws I'm going up the chain using conveyors to get to the first dual product. So it's using two different resources. It's using the plates I showed you from that other factory and the screws. And so it's using both of them to output these reinforced iron plates. They're being used to go on to making these modular frames, and these are slow to make. So you'll notice I've increased the power in this, and it's using reinforced iron plates, more of the iron rods. So you can see iron rods were used for the screws were used for the reinforced iron plates. You're going to go through tons and tons of iron rods. So that's why. Now these modular frames go on to feed even more machines. Right, let's show you. I don't want to bore you with machines, although this is a game of conveyor belts and machines, and it's extreme fun building them. I'm not sure if it's extreme fun listening to me just talk about them. So let's now give you an idea of the scale of the planet, the play field, how much of a factory floor you've got to play with. Where should we start? Let's take a look up that way. So you can see you can use these tubes as a lovely way to travel around, although you can make a vehicle, an explorer. In fact, you can make many vehicles. You can make an explorer, you can make a factory truck if you got the coupons to buy it from the Fix-It store. It's alright, we're not talking about spending money, it's coupons you can get as rewards for doing in-game stuff. Oh wow, so what was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I'm taking you up here. I mean, look at the planet, how beautiful it is. Look at the scale of the size. Oh look, there's a power slug over there sat on the side of a tree. You'll see the power slugs all over the place. Usually they will be guarded by hostile creatures, hence why you see lots of ammunition and a gun in my pocket, because there is combat. Oh yeah, there's lots of combat. It's actually really fun. The beauty of this game is as you approach a new area or explore, I like to use foundations, because if you just try walking out there, if you're with friends it's fine, but if you're on your own playing solo like I am, you'll need to build factory floors, foundations, because otherwise you're just going to get killed. Right, over here, as you explore, you will gain access to different areas, and the power slugs, that's like a green power slug, or maybe a yellow actually. Yeah, when you see the poisonous gases, you're usually going to find a yellow, possibly green power slug, a yellow power slug, or the more common green, but generally there'll be hostile creatures, poisonous gas, so the more hazards the better the power slug. Generally green power slugs are just guarded by a couple of hostile creatures. So how do you get in there? Well, let's go exploring. Oops, so stepping in there you can see I could start to take damage. What I need to do is switch to my gas mask. So the gas mask gets fitted on the body, so if I shift click that, it'll put it on my face. The gas mask uses gas filters which you can make, and I've automated it, so I've got it making me thousands, hundreds, so lots. So I've got some, and once you've got your gas mask on your face, it will use the filters automatically from your pocket, and you can see now I'm not taking damage, and I can come over here and explore. There were creatures here and I killed them. So that's how you can get through the gas. That's how I managed to build this conveyor through here, through wearing the gas mask. Okay, let's go back. So that's dealing with one of the hazards. I'm going to put my blade runners back on because they help me to run quicker, which I need to do if I want to show. So yeah, I've got a conveyor going off of there which I had to do to get through to the quartz field. There's an item there which is a work in progress, no doubt alien technology, unlock in the future as the game progresses, and I can't wait. It's just fantastic. Let's go back this direction. So I've come to the north. I have gone up there on the top of the mountain, but I want to try and move around the map a bit to give you an idea of the scale. So you can go off in that direction. I don't know how far, I have no idea. All points of the compass you can go. I imagine it is just one huge big planet. But look at the views. And you've got all hostile creatures and plants and fauna out there, so you've got to be very careful and you've got to be prepared. I will do some combat, which we're going to get to. At the moment, I'm just going to give a tour of some of the planet. A little tiny 1%, I think, of the planet. So there you go, you see yourself flying through a tube. What would it be like to actually see yourself flying through the tube? Well, we can take a look at that. Let's go through this pipe. Sometimes I forget where the pipes go and I end up on the wrong side of the planet. And there we go, look, there's flying through a tube. That's what your avatar is seeing. A bit freaky, isn't it? Isn't it cool? Well, enough of that. So there's your external view. Because it's January and the Christmas event's still going on, that's why I'm wearing the Christmas hat. And you'll see, I think the presents are still dropping from the sky. Anyway, so let's head off this way. We're going west now, where I took my factory first of all, looking for new resources. I think I went this way actually looking for water, because I see the waterfalls. And this game, Satisfactory, handles fluids so fantastically. I mean, it is just, again, pure joy to work with fluids. So let's show that. The first fluid that you're going to come up against is water. So you'll build one of these, a water extractor. And if we take a look, you can see that it's gathering the water. It's using 20 megawatts per second, and it's getting me 120 units of water per minute. Again, you can amp up with power shafts, and the water you can manipulate through pipelines. And you can also build, do I have any here? No, oh, we'll get onto that. You can also build storage for the water. What's this? Oh. Okay, so there's me gathering some water and sending it down pipelines back to that base. The next fluid you're going to possibly deal with after that is oil. And that is just club fantastic. This is where the game starts opening up and getting really, really fun to play. I mean, when I started dealing with water, it was fun piping it to different areas for machines. But once you get onto oil, oh joy, because you'll be combating having enough power for the first part of the game, you're never going to have enough power for your machines. But when you get to oil, your power problems become over, and you will have hours and hours of fun working out how to get the maximum amount of power out of the game. I mean, look, I haven't even gone in any of them directions that you can see all around us. I've explored the beach over here, but I've not gone inland. It is very dangerous, but it's because I've been focusing on building factories and pipelines and finding the resources that I need. Right, on the subject of power, because we're at my base of power, you can click on a power cable. There are higher tiers than this, but I've just decided to stick with this tier. So currently I'm producing, with all of my factories, my generators, I'm producing 5,709.8 megawatts. All my factories are currently using a max, well, you can see it dips, it averages, it goes up and down. The reason for that is some factories have their conveyors full of resources, and the conveyors ahead of them are full, so they can't work. So some of them are stopped, some of them are started. As the conveyors take the resources off of them, the factory will start up again, so it'll start using power again. That's why it's fluctuating so much. But as you can see, I clearly have enough power, because this is my usage. This line here, this is showing me what I'm using, and this line up here is what I'm producing. Right, how did I achieve such a wonderful amount? Well, I put down one oil refinery, just one oil extractor is enough for all your needs, and I put one power shaft in there, so I'm producing 355.2 units of oil per 0.3 seconds. What that basically means is I've got enough to power all what I'm about to show you. So here's a fluid buffer. Oh, it's so cool, these fluid buffers. So I'm piping my oil from my oil extractor to here, and this then is feeding further buffers and factories. And also what you can do is pipe it obviously up to higher levels of your factory, and you can use engines or pumps, sorry, not engines, pumps. You can use pipeline pumps. This is a Mark II pump, and what that's doing is pumping the fluid up the elevation. The Mark I pump is sufficient, but the Mark II is obviously better, and it's what I choose to use. That keeps my buffers full, no question of it. That one oil extractor keeps, it's just amazing. You can see I'm generating currently 5,000 something odd megawatts, but that I could do a lot more. I could double that, but that's just what I've got to, and it isn't because I run out of space. Let's show you. I just keep making more space as you need it. We've got a whole planet to build on, so space is not an issue. I mean, I've not developed any of that space out there. We come up here, just to give you an overview of what I've been doing over here. You can see, like, I've got my factories, my generators over there. They're all my fuel generators. And so let's give a breakdown then of the factories generating the oil. This is my top tier that I've got to currently, and yes, it's maxed with crude oil from that oil extractor, simply because I'm using the Mark II pumps to just pump it at different stages. It's able to keep the tanks, the buffers full. So I can then develop up here if I wanted to. So if I wasn't now gonna record this series and start from scratch, that's what I would have been doing, just as a personal challenge to myself. How much power can I generate without having to use nuclear reactors? Because I like using cleaner power. Plastic, you're going to need tons of that because it's plastic fantastic. You just won't ever have enough. Right, let's start though with showing you what I'm using my oil for, because that's what this is about, an introduction to the game and the different things you can do. So the oil I'm using to do this factory, which is creating me plastic, and it's also creating this resource called heavy oil residue. It's a purple fluid, and it's a most useful fluid. So it makes my plastic, and the spill off is this resource called heavy oil residue. I then use the heavy oil residue. Let's take them. You use them nuts for healing. So I'm then using the heavy oil residue to go to another refinery, and it's turning that heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. Now at first I was using the petroleum coke to power let's see if I can see, maybe it'd be easier just for me to follow the resource. Yeah, so I was using at first the petroleum coke to power my coal generators. Instead of using coal, I'm using coke because it's a byproduct. It's a spill-off product from plastic. So I was using it to power coal factories, but once I got to a coal generator, once I got to a fuel generator, I didn't need my coal generator. I just haven't stripped it down yet, broken it down. I could remove it because I don't really need it. I could just focus on the fuel, but for now, I'm leaving it in place just because I expand. I don't worry about my old buildings. I just make more space and build new buildings. So petroleum coke. I'm also using my oil residue right, I'll get there in a minute. I'm just looking for where I pump onto. I think it's here, is it? Oh, let's go up and show from the next tier. So I'm also using that oil residue for further plastic development. So if we come around here, oh yeah, here we go. So this is what I wanted to get to. So you've got this heavy oil residue. What do you do with that? Well, I'm using that to make fuel. And with fuel, I'm powering all of my fuel generators. They produce 150 megawatts of power. Is that minute? Anyway, and that's not even got a power shard, so that produces 150. I could whack that up if I wanted to with 3 of them power shards to, look at that, 375 per factory. That would be insane, but I don't need to do that because bear in mind, the more power shards you use, the more fuel it's going to use. So if you don't want lots of factories, then you just would power it up with power shards, but you need to find the power slugs. So there's the question: what do you spend your time doing? Do you spend your time building factories, lots of factories, or do you spend your time going exploring and fighting and finding power slugs to upgrade your factories so you don't need as many generators? you know, and the same applies to factories. Do you want to make lots of generators and lots of factories, or do you want to go out and explore and find the power slugs, upgrade your few factories and generators so you don't have to build more of it? Yeah, I don't know, it's endless really. You just keep them going on and on and on. Like, I could go through what I've built so far, but you've got to fine tune it, because if your factory, your generators or your factories are chewing through too much of the resource, it's going to drain out. So, you know, you've just got to find a balance to what you're trying to do. There's another refinery as well. Let's see if I can find it doing something else. Yeah, so anyway, so here's my power infrastructure. Lots and lots of generators, fuel generators. Let's continue the tour. And then let's have a bit of combat. I want to try and show a bit of all what the game currently has to offer, but remember, this is in early access. They've not even finished yet. So let's continue on our journey. Doesn't it look beautiful? This purple hue, where I don't know, I guess it's clouds or gases changing the colour. Look at the planets up in the sky. Maybe that's going to be a thing in the future, where we can actually travel to other planets like Imperium. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, the game's already epic in size. You're not gonna explore the whole of this planet because it's just too frickin' big. I mean, look, I've got factories coming out of everywhere. Oh, these are like storage containers where you can store the resources. Yeah, look. And this is just like a big open sea, which I did plan on just building foundations all the way out there and just making hundreds, yeah. I'm talking hundreds. If I weren't stopping to do a new playthrough, I would have been making hundreds of generators to see if I could get to 100,000 megawatts per minute. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, let's continue the tour. So here's another part of my factory. Remember I said it's a giga factory. Elon would be proud, I'm quite sure. Yeah, well, it's just going to be the whole planet. Let's go deeper down the rabbit hole. Some really beautiful sights to behold on this planet though, with the waterfalls tearing down from great heights. And you tend to find power slugs in the most dangerous and obscure places. I mean, I'm still coming across power slugs in the areas where I've developed. And it goes to a sort of sandy biome over here. It's really beautiful. Oh, it's night time. You have got a torch. So let's put my torch on. There you go, so you can see a beam of light. Well, if you're wondering what they are a cool power generator, form of power generation. I'll show that. I don't want to give everything away, but let's just say they're very cool. So this is as far as my pipeline goes. Let's bring up the map to show you what I've explored. So here you can see the dark area, the black area is the fog where I haven't been yet. This clear white area is where I've explored. So you can see I had a little trail down there, I had a little trail over this way. Here's the start area where I started on the planet, as you can see by the hub. And here's all the different areas I've explored. So how much more is there to explore? Well, let's move this slider out, and now what I could do is I can either scroll up this way, I don't even know how far it goes, or I can scroll out this way. Does that give you some sort of idea of the scale of the size of this planet? it's mental, it's epic. It's like you're not going to be able to possibly, I mean, if we're saying this is 260 hours worth of gameplay, what is this? How many hours have you got to be playing to explore all of this? So there's no limit to the power slugs. Anyway, let's find a power slug, because they are key. Ah, is that one up there? I don't know if that is. There's poisonous gas. Let's head up there and have a look, because that might be a power slug. I would prefer it being day. Hopefully it's going to get the light as I explore. So now we're going to go into some exploring for this introductory episode. I've given a taste of the factories, conveyors and power. Let's have a bit of exploring now, because this is another major part of the game, which is just wonderful, because it's not only the exploring and finding resources like power slugs and coal and all the other different types of resources you can discover, because you're always going to need more to expand your factories. Right, so let's get some foundations put down and have a look at what this resource is. I think it's limestone, and it's pure, so I haven't shown. Oh wait a minute. So yeah, this is pure on the top, but the main resource is normal. You do find though pure nodes. There's plenty of them. Now, where was that power slug? Where was I going to go? Oh, it's right up there. You can tell usually a power slug because it has little beams going to it, like little, it's weird to explain, little beams of colour going to them. Oh, it's getting day, good. So we're going to go up there. We're going to see up there, and I want to find a power slug. You can never have enough. Bear in mind though, if you die, you drop everything on your body into a box that lies on the ground. And so you've got to be careful. I most certainly do not want to die, because you will drop all of your items, and that includes your weapons, your tools, your gas mask. So if you've travelled through gas, you ain't getting back through that gas unless you run very fast and don't run off a cliff. Generally what I like to do is explore with conveyors, with foundations. So let's do a bit of that. So I need to get up there. How can I do that? Well, we can build some foundations. Give you an idea as well how long it takes. You can hotkey them, which I've done, as you can see. It's not taking me long to put these down. Right, that'll do. That's got me up here. Now, I think there's hostiles up here, so we're going to get fighting in a bit. Let's top these up. I'm going to be using them. So there's different hazards that you have to get by. It could be gases, it could be creatures, it could be other obstacles. Some obstacles you can remove with, what's it called? With Nobelisk, which is dynamite, so you can blow them up. Oh, it's fantastic. It is so much fun. And yes, I'm going to show that. We're going to blow some stuff up. Hopefully I'm not going to die before I can show that. But remember, the nice thing is you can save, as you can see there. So I'm not going to bother saving because it's auto saving. Yeah, I need to gather these up because I'm going to need to do healing, no doubt. I'm not the greatest at combat. You can stack up to 100 of these beryl nuts. Fortunately, there's quite a few around, So that's all cool. And you got to keep, oh, I can turn off the light, that might be too bright. Yeah, so you got to keep your eyes peeled all around you. You're looking for power slugs, and a lot of the time it's nice to come across new resource nodes that you can then mine. So I want to get up there at the top of this cliff. I want to try to avoid to go through. Oh, I'm being attacked. See, here we go. Look, nasty up there. You got to watch your health as well, because they can chew through your hit points. There you go. He's dead. Like alien creatures. Yeah, he took my health down a bit. You see my health? It's these boxes down here. So he nearly chewed through half my health. But we can fix that. There we go. Now what I will do is, let's put the sound back up a bit. Because you get audio warnings for, like, if there's creatures. Hopefully that won't be too noisy. Okay, let's resume. So yeah, the exploring is your main reason for your exploring is either you're going to be someone who wants to just explore and adventure around, or you're going to be looking for them power slugs, because you just need an endless amount. It will never stop you needing new power slugs, because you'll be ever upgrading new factories that you build. And you can just bet, when you see a purple power slug, there is going to be really nasty tough creatures near it. See, there's 4 creatures here, but fortunately... Oh, don't save in the middle of it. Fortunately, because this rifle has such an excellent range, I'm able to take them out. Sometimes quickly. Sometimes I waste a lot of ammo, but I've got plenty. That was funny. Yeah, so these are the smallest type of aggressive creatures. At the beginning of the game, when you don't have a gun, they can prove to be an obstacle, but you're able to beat them with the weapon you get. It's sufficient, the weapon. It's just me, I'm rubbish at fighting, so, you know, I did lots of dying. And they drop resources that you can then research to make even more recipes, to make even more factories, to make even more upgrades. Oh, it's just pure joy. I so love playing Satisfactory. Oh, reload, that is just something I always forget, gets me killed. Now, when you see creatures like that, they're usually guarding a resource. So if you kill some creatures, have a look around, because there's either a power slug or a resource that they were guarding. There's possibly a power slug around, but I don't know if I'll find it. Might be hidden somewhere. Yeah, it'd usually be a power slug on the ledge, or it might be I've got it already. I think that's the power slug that I see. Let's see if I can get to that. I think that might be a power slug. Or it might just be a play of the light. Yeah, no, it's a play of the light. Okay, let's keep going. At least I didn't have to go through that gas. Ah, you can never have enough of these beryl nuts. Yeah, I actually really love the exploring, and I really love the reward of finding power slugs. It's just so satisfying. It really is. Doesn't seem to be any so far. Ooh. Ooh. Hard sometimes to line it up. And when you reload, it doesn't waste any of the ammo. You only put in the ammunition that's not that was empty, so you don't waste any. Oh look, there's a power slug, a green one. So there were two creatures guarding it. If it was yellow, there'd probably be gas, and it might be in a cavern somewhere. But the green ones you generally find like this. Now where was that other creature? Because he's going to come out in a minute and attack me. That's why. Let's turn the sound up. Oh, there he is. There he is. You can also get these petals, not petals, sorry, these pale berries. Oh, they heal more. They heal more. Let's show in actual fact, as I just found. Oh, he didn't hurt me. They heal 2 of your hitboxes, whereas the berries, the beryl nuts, only heal half a box, I believe. Something like that. You'll see anyway as I eat them. So yeah, there was another critter here. The further you travel out, the more dangerous it gets. Didn't I see a power slug? Oh, here it is. Do you see what I meant of them beams of light? That's what you'll generally see around a power slug. Doesn't it look cool? Oh, autosave. And here we go, there's finding our first green power slug. Cool, so you can see I've got 2 of them now. Right, let's see if we can find a yellow power slug. Keep exploring, why don't I? Let's check around this lake. It could be, you sometimes see them dotted around the edges. They'll generally be green ones if they're that easy to get to. No, I don't see anything. So what we could do, let's head on to the other side of this lake. Head east, why don't I? So this is the best way I like to explore, because once you're on your platform, you're safe. Them creatures are not hostile, so I leave them in peace. Oh, that though is hostile. And so to demonstrate your platforms and how cool they are, lucky he stopped to think about what he was going to do. Yeah, so I was obviously fighting near the entry to the beginning of my conveyor, so that's why he found it easy. But I could have removed that, and I could have removed that, and then he'd have no way to get to me. So it's a really fun factor, that of Satisfactory, that you can do that. It really is superb. In this case, we're going on a journey. So there we go. It's just wonderful that you can stand on a platform and take out some really nasty enemies, because there are some really tough ones and they would just kill you otherwise. But this gives you a chance. I mean, if you're playing with friends, it's not a problem. You just surround it and kill it. But when you're on your own like this, you got to use something other than brawn. Also keep our eyes open for any power slugs. I want to see how many power slugs I can get before the timer goes. Yeah, you see, I wanted to focus a lot on the exploration, because when I start a new game, it's going to be a long time before I can do this sort of stuff of just going out into the wilderness and exploring, because I won't have the technology to survive. I'll have just basic tools, and I won't have a gas mask, I won't have a gun, I won't have my blades. Oh, I always forget what they're called. These blade runners, which I can jump higher and run quicker with them. I won't have none of that, so I won't be able to do any exploring, no doubt. Not significant exploring like this, just going out into the wilderness. Because at the beginning you'll have to fight everything hand to hand, melee, so you can't range kill. You can't remove obstacles, you won't have an obelisk detonator and obelisk, so you won't have dynamite. You can't blow things up, blow obstacles up out your way. I generally like to keep higher off the ground in case I get jumped by creatures, and there are creatures everywhere, hostile creatures everywhere, so you do generally have to stay on your platform. And then all the time I'm looking for the power slugs. If I see them, I'll make a platform over to them, or if it's a new resource that I could do with, then I'll do that. Endless joy building conveyor belts, and you have to build thousands, because the resources get further and further out around you. It's not a problem, it's a lot of fun, but it takes hours and hours and hours to link up. There are things that I've not shown, like transportation, trains and trucks and other ways to move your resources when you've packaged them, but I've chose that, and that's not the way I play this. There's going to be no doubt loads of people doing series on Satisfactory. They'll no doubt show them different ways, but for me, I like this. I love conveyor belts, and I love using conveyor belts, and I love just the basic builds. I prefer moving everything via conveyor belt. I maybe in the future tinker with transportation, trains and lorries, but for now I'm happy just exploring like this, or I'm happy transporting my resources via conveyor belts. I've not found a need to change that. Oh, more creatures, and this time they can't get access to me. Unlucky them. Yeah, so you've got some creatures that attack melee, and you've got other creatures which shoot at a distance. And there's some really nasty ones, which you'll generally find around the purple power slugs. The other one's up here somewhere, I know he is. Oh, there he is. Now if you wait, when you shoot they run off, but if you wait patiently, if you're a patient person, it'll come back. There you go. Well, it didn't come right back. They do wander right back to where they were when you started shooting them, but that one looked like he was wandering off on a different path. Right, now I bet there's power slugs up on top of them mountains, because this way is generally, there's not going towards any power slugs, I don't think. So let's have a look. Generally you'll be better off finding up in them, in the mountains up high, so we'll try that. If I backtrack a little bit, let's try going up this way. Yeah. You can get up really high and it gets so scary. You can just get up so high. And yes, I've fallen off and died in the most obscure locations, and then without any of my equipment, because I didn't want to spend an hour remaking everything, although you know it wouldn't take me that long, but I didn't want to remake everything. I'm stubborn sometimes, especially about wanting to get back my items that I've got on a corpse. So yeah, wherever you go, you've got to remember, if you die, it's all going to get dropped there and you have to get back there. So if you've went through, like I say, gas clouds, you're going to need another gas mask, or you, if it's not far, you can run through it, but you're going to need to heal, and probably a lot of healing. No, we're getting there. Oh, there we go. Now, is this a nasty? Yeah, this is a nasty one. Very nasty. This one shoots at long. Their range is just incredibly long. Now, if we wait, you should see what I was talking about. He should wander back. Here you go. Take pot shots. And your gun has a good long range. But because I'm so far away from it, even though I'm shooting it, it doesn't know where I am. Whereas if I'd got too close, it will run up and start shooting its range at me, and it'll kill me pretty quick. So there you go. That is a perfect example of these beautiful foundations. One little tiny slice of what makes Satisfactory so fantastic to play. Look at that. Took that critter out, and he's guarding something. Was it a power slug? Was it a purple one? Let's go have a look, because he was a tough version. Actually I better stay at this level. Now you might have buddies, there might be more of them. You can also find crashed ships, and they can have hard drives which you can... There's so much to this game, there really is. I've forgotten all about mentioning that. You can find crashed ships that have not only resources, they also have hard drive data which you can research and then unlock more recipes and blueprints to factories. It's just amazing. So let's see then if I can find a crashed ship. That would be nice. Show some of that, yeah. Also I want to show blowing something up, because you can't have an episode without at least blowing one thing up, surely, eh? So we'll use some of my Nobelisk and we will remove a hazard. Oh, I just know there's going to be hostiles. Ah, look at that. Perfect. Crashed ship. Or freight container. Let's go check it out. Exactly what I wanted to show. Hopefully we got enough time. Sure we have. Don't know if you're busy or not, but it won't take me long. Now I could build platforms. I will build platforms. The reason I will build platforms is because there is going to be something extremely nasty guarding that. So let's do this. Yeah, there's going to be something guarding it, alright. There's hostile plants, and what happens is, let's come out of that. When you get near to them, the pods open and fly-like creatures come out of the pods, and they will attack you and kill you. Oh, they're like big elephants. So yeah, what you can do from a range, shoot them, they explode, the fly things come out, and if you leave them they will die or despawn. So all of them now are out like that. If you just watch, you'll see that they will despawn. There you go, they're despawned. Now, oops, didn't mean to do that. You get 100% of your resources back if you build a factory, conveyor belt or any other building type and you decide you don't want it there and you need to remove it for whatever reason. You get 100% of the resources back. It's absolutely wonderful that they do that. Oh look, there's another hostile. Sure it is. Oh, maybe it's not. I'm getting paranoid. Right, alright, so there's no hostile there. You see, if I weren't recording, I would have, after getting the stuff and going back there, I would have then reclaimed all of these foundations to get the resources back. But I've still got a few, so it's fine. And these, where the fly things, you can pick them up, the carapaces, and you can turn them into healing items, which are really useful. Right, so here's a crashed, I don't know if you call it, is it a crashed ship or cargo container, but anyway, it's a crash site, and you get resources. So look, here we got some wire, and you get a lot, and cable. Ooh, computers. Ton of resources to make them. Ooh, more computers. So you get loads of resources, really cool. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is what you get out of this cargo pod. So if I open it, and if I pull the handle, oh, I need 4 encased industrial beam. Typical. The ones I've opened so far have all been worked fine, and I just pull the handle down. For this one, I should have brought some encased industrial. Oh, dang it. It doesn't matter. Let's see if I can find another one. You just pull that open, and then you get a hard drive out. And then you can research that hard drive to get a new recipe. Isn't that cool? So, where did I come from? That direction. Let's go over this way. So at least I showed what I wanted to, a wreckage site. See if I can find another one that's not broken that I can open. Could be hostiles up here. Yeah, definitely worth getting these pale berries. They're a good backup. The reason I don't use the pale berries is because they only stack to 50, whereas the beryl nuts stack to 100. Oh, there's a power slug. You see it in the distance? Let's see if we can get over there. I could have probably... Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's not hostile. I could have actually probably been better off going down a bit before I do that. A ledge. So that's what I will do. I'm too high up. Yeah, much too high. So we'll do this a bit lower down. And hope that I don't get attacked. It's good to have a good look around though, because there could be power slugs hiding in other areas. They can just be all around you. Oh, there's a hostile. I think this is too far away though to kill them. Yeah, I'm doing okay so far without having to build platforms. But if I did get jumped, then I'd be vulnerable. When I'm on my platforms, I'm safe. Well, safe from the ones that fight at range. Ah, here's another type of plant. A bacon, a gyric, a mushroom. Oh, there's this, when you find an artifact. I was playing late at night one night, Satisfactory. Oh, I can hear nasty. And I heard this, oh shoot, and I heard this sound, and it was flipping, made me jump out my skin. Where'd he go? That was lucky. He got up there to that ledge, and he decided he can't get to me. Anyway, he's not going to bother me. But he might come back and then I can shoot him. No. No, let's carry on towards that power slug. Oh, also I've not been keeping track on myself. Oh, but you can see via the map the HUD up the top there, which direction I come from. Oh, there it is, so it's just across there. Oh, I thought I was going to fall down then. That would have been death. Alright, let's do a platform. Now you see, what I could do is, if it was a resource I wanted permanent access to, I could turn around, I could put a foundation underneath that, and then I can just keep doing these platforms that come down. But I don't need to. Oh, this is just a green one. Yeah. So it's just hard to get to, that's why it was green. If there had been creatures here and maybe some gas, it might have been a yellow power slug. Oh, I wonder if that crater. At least 2 creatures in there. But I can't see no power slugs, so I'm not going to worry about that. Right, I want to find something now I can blow up. So let's head back in the right direction, because I know where there is some things, obstacles that I can blow up. Let's see if I can find my way back for starters. I've got to get back past that creature that chased me. Here's something. It's like a I wonder if it's something up there. Maybe not. Oh, it's getting dark and there's a nasty out there. Could attack me at any moment. Oops. Oh, I think I just fell down. Oh well, got some nuts. Not complaining. Yikes. Oh, what's attacking me now? Oh, uranium. Yep, got to be careful with that stuff. I could build a hazmat suit, but that's just another thing on my to-do list. And as I'm starting a new series, I wanted to start recording this series in December, but I couldn't stop playing. I just had too much fun. I just could not stop playing in order to record. I just keep wanting to see how much further the rabbit hole got deeper. And this is still early access. It's just amazing. Oh, crumbs. He runs around and then he charges. You see the way he goes? He runs around, whoops, and he charges. Now the flipping heck so I'll switch weapon. About time I showed the other weapon. No, not an obelisk. That's what we want. That's what I'm talking about. That cool. I will keep my health full though. Well, what's this? Sulfur. Oh, there's my platforms in the distance. Yeah, let's blow something up time. I've got to find the right thing to blow up though. I don't just want to blow anything up. I either want to demonstrate getting a hidden item. Ah, perfect. Now I'm going to demonstrate getting a super rare purple power slug from a hidden location that you just wouldn't know was there. Perfect demonstration of why explosives are fun. Now, when you've got to do this in water, you're going to need platforms. Otherwise you'll have to stand on top of it and it will hurt when you blow it up. Trust me on that. How do I know? I found out the hard way. I blew myself up. And yes, it was painful. So you'd think, oh, this is just a crater full of water and a rock and boulders. Nothing to it. Ah, but do you remember them little beams of light I told you about? Look at that. It's not purple actually. I thought it was. I was hoping it was, but it's not. So let's just show what I'm talking about. Sometimes you'll find resources like this. Okay, there's a rock and you know something's here because the beams are going into it, but you can't see it. So what you got to do, grab yourself some obelisk, left click to throw the obelisk, get a safe distance away like so, and then kaboom. Isn't that cool? And then if we have a look, it is only green, doesn't matter though, still a power shard. There we go. So that's finding hidden resources using your Novalisk. Right, I want to show another hazard that you can use the explosives for. So I'll have to see if I can find one. That's the thing with exploring in the dark, you don't see them until their teeth are nearly upon you. Oh, look at that, getting rewarded. How nice. Wonderful. Well, we've not found any yellow or purple power slugs. Well, there's time yet. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, it's another crash site. Right, okay. Time to move. I can hear something growling at me. Can't see it. Probably going to hit me before I see it. Where is it? Oh, it's the big nasties. Yeah, let's see if I can show getting a drive now. That would be cool. There's going to be more enemies. Let's get the advantage. Oh yeah, I took it away. Took the platform away, you aren't getting to me. No, you aren't. Waste not, want not. Now, are there any more? Maybe not. Maybe there was just two. Such a beautiful world. I mean, planets that are orbiting. There's one there, but there is another planet orbits. Looks so cool. Anyway, right, let's see if we can get to this wreckage. Oh, I've got a bit of space left. I'm sure there's another enemy. Wow, I'll just have to fight him from the ground. Oh, motors, nice. Some screws. More computers. Great way of getting resources if you don't want to make them yourself. Although you wouldn't really get enough to do much. Right, let's have a look in this container. Drop pod, I should say. Oh, repairs needed. You're kidding me. Battery broken. Needs 50 megawatts. Yeah, I haven't got no power batteries with me. Oh well. See if I can find another one. First of all though, how can I see if I can find my way back? Oh, this way. Yeah, there are loads of crash sites. There really are loads of crash sites. I mean, I've only explored a tiny bit of the planet and I've found lots. But I do want to see if I want to get a hard drive before I end this episode and show researching it. That would be nice. Just to show you another element to the game, there's lots more to it than building factories, you know. And there's lots to do in the exploration side of the game. Oh, here's my one of my coal factories. Look at that, I stumbled upon one of my paths. Let's show you this one, this pathway. Yeah, I really did do some exploring then. If I look at the map, yeah, so I'm back in the heart of where I've explored. I must have gone around there. I thought I was lost. Cool, look at this. Talk about dizzy heights. And I'm not even up the top. Look at the view though. I mean, on a clear day you'd see all of the valley around and it just looks so beautiful. If I had a parachute I could just jump off. Mind you, I have got the jetpack and I haven't shown the jetpack yet, have I? Do you want to take a look at the jetpack? Yeah, go on then, let's have a look at the jetpack. See how cool it is. Right, now you'd imagine jumping off of here, you'd die a horrible death. But that's not always the case. So what we're going to do is have a bit of jetpack fun. So there's my jetpack. To use with the jetpack you need fuel, which I've got here, and like the stop auto saving, like the field gas filters, when you wear the item it goes on the body like the gas mask, it will automatically use the resource from your inventory. And you can see down here now I've got the jetpack and the fuel, and the way the jetpack works is when you're flying you use up that line and then it won't be until you land that it refuels. So let's see if we can make it to that rock and see if there's a power slug there. So let's jump off. No, I'm not going to make it across. Isn't that cool? Reminds me of Imperium's jetpack. That's cool as well. See, and then when I'm on the ground it refuels. I've got tons of fuel, so I could literally fly around the planet. Isn't this beautiful as well? Right, let's put my hack blades back on, or blade runners. Right, I wanted to show another obstacle that you can blow up, because you just simply can't have enough of blowing things up. Let's face it, when you've got explosives, you just can't get enough of the blowing things up. Maybe it's a boy thing. Now, I've got the power slug that was over there. There was a power slug over there, but I've got it already, so no point in going over there. I want to demonstrate another hazard that you can use the explosives for. I know exactly what it looks like. Let's see if I can find one. And another crash site. One crash site preferably that can be opened and researched. I love riding the conveyors and these pipes. Really I do. It's brilliant. Great for accessing areas you can't get to. I think I just remembered where there's another power slug. Oh, there's loads of nuts. You really do need them though, because you're going to get hurt. I mean, this is with full equipment currently that you can get, but until you get some of this equipment, it's going to be painful. You're going to take some damage. Yeah, I fell off my conveyors around there at a really high height and died down on the ground here. That can happen to you. Yeah, loads of nuts. I love this biome. Really cool looking sandy sort of waste. Look over this way. Oh, maybe I can't get up there. Ooh, look at this. You get lots of spiders in these caverns. Time to switch weapons. If I can find it. There we go. Right, spider time. Oh, power slug time. It's always worth investigating and exploring. Yes, you can use them items from the spiders to make healing resources, which is cool. You know what? I'll have to do a platform. There we go. We got another power slug. We've got 6 now. Well, 5. I've got 5. Yes, it's worth exploring these caverns because you don't know what you're going to come against or find. You're most certainly going to find spiders. But you might find other goodies. Especially as they develop the game. They could add anything. Oops. Time for a gun. And look at that. Nice. Still haven't found though the obstacle that I'm looking for. We'll keep searching. The timer hasn't gone yet. Ooh. You're too close. They will find you. You can shoot them. I don't like to waste the bullets. You know, if you're going on a long expedition, you'll need all the bullets you've got. But just to show, let's shoot some. Oh, there you go, they've gone now. Probably could blow them up, but you know, I could blow it up probably. Oh, don't do that auto save one. They circle you, and that's nasty. Which is why I recommend doing them from range, because look, they fly fast behind you, and then they try and attack you. They did do damage to me though, so it's best off just shooting them from a distance and letting them despawn. Excuse me. for another crashed wreckage. Oops. No, nothing going on here. Could be an item up. Ah, power slug. Alright, gas mask time. Yeah, time to put on me gas mask. Get me that slug. Lucky I bought plenty of concrete. There's probably going to be some hostile creatures as well. Oh, I should have waited. Never mind. Oh, yellow power slug. There we go. You see, because it's got the gas, it's got the plants that shoot them pods. There's plenty of dangers going on, and so it qualifies for a yellow power slug. Still not found a purple one though, so let's see if we can find purple, and let's see if we can find a wreckage that I can actually open. Some of the sights that you see, you know, just breathtaking, really beautiful. Right, let's head back. Yeah, so found a yellow power slug, that was cool. Oh, is it clams? This is a funny creature. It checks you out. Oh look, it's Rudolph. Rudolph the red nose. I don't know, lizard. Lizard. Oh wait a minute, eat a pet dog. Oh look at that, you can pet it. Oh cool. I never even knew that. Ooh, there's a nasty. I wonder if there's more than one. Can I get to the bank before it starts spitting at me? I can hear purple power slug. There we go. Check me out. But that tells me there should be more enemies. Oh well, let's worry about that once I've got that. Yeah, look at that. How cool. Got me a purple power slug. Oh, it's not a purple power slug, it's a work. Oh, let's see if we can trigger this thing that's just going to scare the bejeez out of you, especially if it's early in the morning you're watching this. This will freak you out. You'll see what I'm talking about. This will freak me out.
Strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
Now if you're walking along and it's early hours of the morning and it says that, it just like, it made me jump out my skin. Oh well, it's not a purple power slug, but at least I was able to show that. Really cool, full of mysteries.
Harvest.
Company is telling me to harvest. Ooh, 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 ooh. See, I got too close to it and triggered it. Come on, stop your spinning. Get going. Yep, one more. Yeah, this is where I fell off my foundation from up there and died down here. So then I had to come back and I had to build a long platform. So may as well travel along it and see if I can find a container to research. Oh no, there's the timer, out of time, and yep, it's been 2 hours. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this introductory episode. That's all it is, an introduction to Satisfactory. And in episode 2 I'm going to start a new game with a new character and see how we get on. It might only be 20 episodes, it depends on if it's popular or not. If it's popular, there'll be a lot more than 20. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.